Okay, I think I'm just gonna mute all of you motherfuckers. There we go. Hello, and welcome everyone to the last round of this JL in Paradisa, of course coinciding with the last round of Season 12 of Ultimate League. This time around, the schedule was brought a bit forward because of the real-life F1 race. Shouldn't be much of an issue. We still managed to get at least 15 people in the JL race. So let's see, we do have, you can see here, Enigma. An old racer who hasn't been around for several months. He has come back for this JL race in particular. So let's see how he does. We have no idea how much he has practiced. Apparently not much, because that was an atrocious corner. Alright, and the first laps are in, and we have Matimar in first place. Oh my god, that's not good, Goose. So we have Matimar in first place with quite a hefty lead, must say. Redacted right behind with Brusky. It's much more competitive there, and in the second to fifth place. Let's see what the second lap brings us. No real differences at the top. So let's see, will Maddie be able to clinch the pole? I believe that Marimar has already won this season of JL. Yeah, exactly. I think he has clinched it. Well, technically, I guess Goose could still fight for it, but it's very unlikely. Okay, it seems we do see Redacted and Goose tying for second place. And some improvements with Kaletka up to fourth place and Fabricio to fifth. Alright, here we go. So Marimar in pole with the only sub 36 lap. With a 35.95. Redacted and Goose tied 7 hundredths behind with the 36.02. Then we have Kalitka in fourth, Fabricio, Rushki, and Gorlomi, Pumpkin, Graco, and Mascabrivas, the two cormorants, rounding out the top 10. There's a huge gap there between 9th and 10th. It almost doubles the gap to pole. Then we have Tomatoes in 11th. Then again another gap to Enigma racing for Archon with a 38.02 lap. Then Fox, Vepper, and in last place Pazulma Miskisir for Fidget Falcons, who actually left without posting a time, so we'll have to see what happens there. Yeah, so Kaletka will have to be put back on P4 because he probably left the lobby. Silly goose. Whereas Skip says, you silly Billy. Okay. It appears the grid adjustment is done. So we will jump into... Oh no, apparently we will not. Okay, you know what I have to say about this?
What? Damn, why can't I do that?
Wait, didn't it crash for you guys? Okay, wait. Never mind then. Okay.
You're
Wait,
causing
what
lag
happened then?
storms.
The fuck? Wait, what do you mean they're already racing?
Okay, there we go. Apparently, we lost the start, sadly. There was some technical issues here at the booth. But we can see that Marimar has run away with it for the time being with over a second lead over Goose. Also very comfortable in second place. And then we see a 5-car pack here with Kalitka, Redacted, Gorlomi, Fabricio and Rushki all fighting for position. They are not going to let it go. Rushki managed to run away from the pack a bit, and Gorlomi fell back into another pack of 5 cars. Tomatoes there getting the worst of it. Both packs getting close to each other, so it's still everyone's game here. We have Fox here isolated in 12th, Bozzle and Maska fighting for position, and Vapor in dead last. Okay, so we see that Goose and Marimar are still comfortable in the lead. We again see Bruski still holding on to that last podium position, with Kalitka, Fabricio, and Redacted not wanting to let him run away. There they go. It seems that Kalitka is the one that's going to run away, and he got himself into Ruski's slipstream. So he will be fighting for the podium here. Meanwhile, Fabricio and Redacted have kind of fell back, but they still managed to get themselves into Ruski's slipstream. So it's still not lost for them if they can keep it steady. And maybe those battles might not be the best for them. They are losing a lot of time, and they will be losing their chance to catch up to the last podium position with Kalitka. Alright, back here we have Enigma and Gorlomi fighting for P7. They could still get into... And yes, we see that Fabricio fell back, which gives these drivers a chance to fight for an extra position. Enigma did make a mistake there, so now we have a sort of pack here fighting for P5. Oh, and the first... Oh no, Enigma. We see the first people pitting. We see that Marimar pitted for hards, and now he's fighting Rushki. He's trying to ask for a slipstream. Marimar, you should be the one slipstreaming, considering you're on hards. That's not how it works, although Ruski is on very worn softs. So it is understandable. Ruski is not having any of that. He did seem to have let Marimar go, which is nice. That pit entry is very hard to get a hold of. Now, Goose is stretching the tires to 7 laps. We'll see if he goes for 8 laps. It would be very possible to do 7 laps on softs twice, and then one stint maybe of mediums for 9 laps. Just to get the most out of each tire. Let's see if he pits, and he does. And he avoided the wall masterfully. Alright, and Matimar is into the lead again, with Goose coming out in 3rd place. That seems to not have worked out quite as well as he hoped, although Fabricio has not pitted yet. So Fabricio is going for 8 laps of softs. He will probably struggle here to keep Goose at bay. It's worth mentioning that Goose has a very high ping compared to most people, so it's hard to manage Goose's position on the track. Now, Kalitka is coming here for third place. There he goes with a P3. Fabricio hitting the wall masterfully as well. And we have that pack. So by now, everyone has pitted. The first time, except Fox for some reason. Pumpkin here in fourth place, slightly ahead of this small pack. We have Redacted. Oh, we see some teleporting from Rusky. Tomatoes with the hards. A lot of drivers took the hards, although it seems that some of those further back took the softs, perhaps trying to catch up and get into other people's slipstream. We'll have to see how that works out. Pumpkin did take the softs, and he's kind of running away from the people behind. Kalitka is on hards, so if Pumpkin can keep it up, because we can see that Kalitka had a 37.5, and Pumpkin got a 1 second on Kalitka because he's on softs, so it could work out if he avoids silly mistakes, because it's very easy to lose time to grass touches, wall bumps, etc. For example, that last corner, if you hit the gravel, you will lose a lot of time. At the front here, we do see Goose is lapping Vepper. And it does seem that Goose is closing the gap on Matty. Goose, of course, has the faster tires. He's now about 1.5–2 seconds behind Matty. We'll have to see how that one pans out. So we have Redacted and Tomatoes fighting for position there. Tomato seems to have gotten the best of it for now. Redacted is not giving up. They are fighting fiercely for 5th place. And Ruski is just waiting for the perfect opportunity to get back into that fight. Any other fights that we can see here? We see Fabricio and Enigma running out the top 10. We have Draco and Bazulmamiz Kisir. I think I pronounced it right this time around. Mascabrivas with a 13th place, and of course Mascabriva's favorite rival Fox in 14th, and we have Vepper in last place on his 11th lap, whereas Marimar is on the 13th lap. And we can see that Goose is catching Matimar. While we wait for that, we can have a look here at this battle between Gorlomi and Tomatoes. It seems that Gorlomi managed to catch up to Tomatoes, who is on a slower compound. Let's go back to Goose as Goose gets into Matimar's slipstream. There we go, it's a fight for the win. Matimar has been driving all alone and challenged, but now we have Goose here to show him who's the boss. Let's go, Goose. Now we do see that both drivers having fairly worn out tires. It's worth noting that Matimar pitted before Goose, so he does have 1 extra lap of wear on the hards, which could somewhat equalize the wear on their different compounds. Now Goose certainly will want to overtake Maddie somehow. It's very difficult. We can see that Goose for the last 2 laps tried to overtake, was not able to, fell back, and then he came back into Maddie's slipstream and was not able to overtake in the same corner. Perhaps the wide hairpin at the bottom might be the best place for Goose to try it if he's close enough to Maddie. Okay, and Matimar is pitting, but Goose is staying out, and Goose leads the lap. Let's see where Matimar is leaving. He is going to leave comfortably in 2nd place, with about a 3 second lead over Kalitka, who has indeed pitted the 2nd time. So most people have actually pitted the 2nd time, with the exception of Goose and the back markers. So we'll have to see how that works out. We can see that Pumpkin is on the soft strategy again. I'm not sure these tires will actually hold up to the end. It seems a bit ambitious. But it could be just enough to catch Kalitka. Oh, and we see that Goose came back onto the track right next to Kalitka. I think Kalitka might have let Goose overtake. Understandable, as they are teammates. Goose is on the faster compound. And therefore, it benefits them both to just slipstream. So Kalitka should get into Goose's slipstream. It's kind of annoying because Pumpkin will be able to make use of that if he gets on Kalitka's slipstream. Why is Kalitka fighting Goose there? I don't understand that. Doesn't seem very productive, does it? So right now, the only thing that could really ruin Matimar's run on the champion would be if Matimar just crashed out of the race with an ENF. Yeah, Goose too late. Too late for Goose to give team orders to Kalitka. Kalitka, who is also a high pinger, you can kind of see that the car twitches a bit. So he might also be having some issues understanding where exactly Goose is. That made them lose a lot of time. Okay, and we see there the team orders, Kalitka letting Goose go, but by now Goose is, 3.5, 4 seconds behind Maddie. It seems that, oh my god, and Kalitka is back. And Goose made a mistake. Yeah, I would say that right now it's just a fight for P2. There is not much chance for them to to get into P1 unless Maddie makes some huge mistakes, which I don't see him doing. He only really needs to stay safe. Okay, I do want to look at other parts, other battles going on here, and not just the disaster that is Goose and Kalitka. Okay, so we have Pumpkin in the softs, but again, remember that Pumpkin will have some tire wear issues in these last few laps. Oh, Tomatoes, that was too much on the inside. And Redacted is getting onto your slipstream soon. Will Tomatoes be able to catch up to Pumpkin? We will have to see. Going further down the grid, we have Rushki in P7. Gorlomi in P8, Fabricio and Gurako rounding out the top 10 respectively. Enigma in P11, not sure what happened there. Enigma with 3 stops. I hadn't noticed. Pumpkin actually had 3 stops, so his softs are actually decent. But he seems to have fallen too far back from Kalitka to actually be able to catch up to them. However, it's quite possible that something happens with Kalitka and Goose. Although it seems that Goose has finally managed to run away from Kalitka, and somehow he actually gained some time on Matimar. So I wonder if Matimar is struggling with tire wear. He is, whereas Goose, not as much. So I would say it's quite possible that Goose would have caught Matimar at the end. Hard to tell, but those battles with Kalitka really cost him a lot. Going back down the grid, we do have Ruski and Redacted fighting for P6. Ruski on fresher softs than Redacted hards, but Redacted is not giving him an inch, and we see Maddie crossing the line to win the Paradisa JL Pre. Kalitka crossed the line. Okay, Pumpkin in 4th, Tomatoes in 5th. Ruski's in 6th, Redacted in 7th, He fell back there, unfortunately. Gorlomi in P8. Fabricio in P9 and Enigma managed to get into the top 10, with Greco following in P11. Bazulma Mizkisir in P12. And we can see Mask Bravas. I don't think he will get to the line in time. I don't think the timer was correct. We can see Mask Bravas, Fox, and Vepper. Alright, it's done, and let's see the results. We do see Medimar in first place with a 4-second lead over P2 Gay Mongoose. Kalitka in P3, making that a double, two drivers in the podium for Delphox. We see Pumpkin for Solaris in P4, then Tomatoes and Ruski rounding out the P6, with Ruski with a 36.05 fastest lap. In P7 we have Redacted, followed by Gorlomi, Fabricio, and Enigma rounding out the top 10. Then we have a P11 for Greco, Bazulma Miskisir, Mascabrivas, Fox, and Vepper in P15. That was it for the race, folks. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next season.